is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is a Realtor and I'm here just as usual to bring you more and more so that which concerns you matters real estate. Now, we've been interacting with you maybe on our social platforms, that is the Realtor on Facebook, and what we have encountered is a lot of questions. You wanting to know more about something and a topic that we have today. And you know what? We are discussing about joint venture. These are two words, it's a compound noun, and by this, it means it has a lot in it. Now, there are those who are wondering what is all about joint venture. You have no idea. Maybe it's a term that you have come across along the way. Others have been into it, it has worked, others it has not worked. But more so we want to understand the real process of joint venture when it comes to real estate and how you can benefit out of this, and also what you need to avoid when it comes to this term joint venture. It's a process all the same. And you know what? I've been joined by, a guru, someone we have interacted with. You have directed questions to him on the Realtor TV 47 Facebook page, and he is here to answer about joint venture. Now, this is none other than the Wakili we have always had in the house. Bwana Wakili, karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Can you say hi, give us a recap, and then we get into this discussion.
Hi guys, I'm Joseph Mugweru. I currently call myself the resident advocate for the show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Resident Wakili, and karibu. The topic we have, why I'm excited is because these people now know where to direct their concerns. Their fears, their appreciations at times, and also their comments. Wakili is here to handle all these. And now, when it comes to joint venture, because it's a broad topic, I understand, but we must have the basics and the bottom line, whereby these people must understand this for them to benefit from this. Because at the end of the day, I believe it's an avenue that can benefit many.
Yeah, very true.
Paint us a picture of the definition of joint venture.
So basically, a joint venture is a business a transaction where two or more organizations or persons merge or come up together with a sole maybe of developing a project. Let me give you an example. You have land, I have money. I don't want to buy land. You don't want to sell this land, and because if I buy this land, I will be left without money. I will approach you and ask you, can I develop on your land? You will say yes. Then we will agree. Then let's do a joint venture. There is what we are going to share as partners in this group. But you have to remember that in this transaction, this is not a partnership. Every entity maintains its distinct and independent functioning. You're not dissolving a company. You're not forming anything new. The only thing is that you are just coming as a joint venture. But don't forget, everyone remains as they were before. Because in a partnership, maybe we might decide, let's cross shop and open a bigger partnership, you see. But now in a joint venture, it's everyone does their own work, distinct.
So in this case, if you have money and have got land, your value remains your money.
Yes.
Value remains my land.
Yes.
Then coming together, the combined value is now what we may refer as this joint venture.
Yes.
Advantage.
Yes.
Now, you've mentioned something very crucial in this case, and I believe those who are watching can agree with me. Kindly help us understand the difference between joint venture and partnership.
Okay, so a joint venture, as I have indicated,
yes, you have defined.
The parties are left to have their own distinct and independent identity. The identity will not change. So if it's Robert, it's Robert. If it's Mugweru, it's Mugweru. But when we decide to do a partnership, your identity as Robert will be forgotten, my identity as Mugweru will be forgotten, and then we will come up with now a new business or a new organization that now will form, this is what we are calling a partnership. Yeah.
Okay, so I believe they understand now the key difference between these.
Yes.
We dissolve, in partnership, we totally dissolve all our entities
Yes.
and become, I would rather have one.
Yes.
And for joint venture, you remain with your
Yeah.
contribution, I remain
Yeah.
with mine. What we share is the benefits.
Yeah, it's the benefit.
Now, when it comes to these, I believe because we are doing the realtor, and this is where I would love everything to, you know, to lean more into real estate. And this is why I want us to understand when it comes to joint venture, and you're talking about you coming with money and I coming with land. In this case, let's maintain that sample, that example. With my land, what am I supposed to do if you are coming to invest your money in my land matters, you know, those who buy land, they would say, if my land remains, remains, it will appreciate in the course of 1 year, 2 years. And your money, 2 million, I don't know how much value it will have come. Okay. Let us understand the lines, the agreement between you and I when it comes to now bringing our value together.
Basically, first, I think before we go there, it will be prudent for our viewers to understand this process,
right,
for us to know what is your take and what is my take. So if you don't mind, let's first do the process.
The process, yeah. Well. And if there, I would request that you be keen. We are talking about the process, the steps to take when you want to engage in this process, so-called the joint venture. And this is what Wakili is breaking down for us, just to help you and I understand what is the process of undertaking this. Because Wakili understand it goes beyond the name.
Yes.
Break it down kindly.
So let's maintain our example.
Right.
You own the land, I have the money. So I will approach you as a land owner.
Sure.
And I will tell you, I want to have to develop your land.
Sure.
So the first thing is that I will do what we call a project, or a project. I will approach you and appraise the land. That is, I will visit your land. That is the initial step. I will first visit your land.
Right.
Why am I visiting your land? I want to see its location. I want to see the amenities that are around that land. I want to see whether if I invest money in your land, it's going to come back.
Right.
That is the first step.
So basically it's what the valuers would call the visibility study.
Yes.
Right.
Also in that process, again, you'll do what that you call visibility study.
Right.
So after I have done the visibility study, my next step as a developer, I will instruct my lawyer.
Right.
Due diligence. We have always insisted on due diligence.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, when it comes to land transactions, due diligence is a must.
Right.
I will instruct my lawyer. Yes, Robert has told me this land belongs to him. Yes, Robert has given me a title deed. Yes, I need to confirm that this title deed is not from what we call River Road. Then therefore, I will ask for my lawyers to do a search.
Right.
And this search, where will the search be done? I will instruct my lawyers to do a search at the land's registry. That is the registry that your land, the local registry your land is located. Secondly, nowadays we are encouraging people to do other searches, maybe in the company registry.
Right.
Also, you can do a search in the Ndungu report to make sure that land is not one of the lands listed there.
Right.
After my lawyer tells me now it's okay now, you can continue with this process.
Right.
Now that is the third stage. Now we are going to is what we call the project proposal.
Right.
So I will come to you. I will tell you, Robert, this is what I want to build here. I have seen it's going to give us this return when we develop.
Right.
I have seen it's going to cost us this, and then I have seen this is what we can develop.
Sure.
So I might carry a dummy. You know those dummies that are usually at when you are developing what we call just structures.
Sure.
To show how the project will be.
Exactly.
So from there now, after you agree with it and I give you my budget, then now we can do the fourth step, drafting and signing the joint venture agreement. Right. Now that is where your question, the question you asked me.
Sure.
In that agreement, I will specify the land. I will specify your responsibility as the owner of the land.
Sure.
I will specify my responsibilities as the investor. You see now, I will specify the most important thing in a joint venture, how we will share the profits in,
Right.
in this development.
So the bottom line, or rather the main projection here is the benefits that you're going to have from
Yes.
this joint venture.
Yes.
Because someone will be wondering how, sorry, how is it that someone will demand me to transfer? Is it in that agreement, or is it legal for me to transfer my title deed, or rather to include you in my title deed as one of the owners at that particular stage?
Okay, the best practice will be what we go now, the next stage.
Right.
We have signed the agreement, right? We have signed the agreement now.
Sure.
Everyone is contented with the content. The next thing is to create a joint venture special purpose vehicle.
Right.
It can be a company or a limited liability partnership.
Right.
Yeah, that vehicle is what will enable me now transfer the land, not to you or to me.
Right.
I will take your land, we will take your land from you
and
transfer it to this company. This company will be directors, and that company, people, at least the government will see that this company was formed because of the joint venture agreement. Are we together?
Right.
So it is not prudent for you to transfer this land to me. It's not prudent for you to include me in your title.
And because when you talk about a partnership, or rather a limited company, at that particular time, remember we are talking about my property, because I'm the owner of the land. I do have the money, and already you have come into the play, or into the picture. You're reading the company belongs to me and you. And yet, at this particular time, is your money already in the company account, or how far are we with that?
You see, when you're drafting this agreement, that is why I always insist it's prudent to involve an advocate.
Right.
An advocate will advise you, or will tell the parties, deposit this company in what we call, this money in what we call advocate's client's account.
Okay.
This account is mostly run by both advocates from your side and my side.
From your side, right.
Yeah. So that now that company, that money will be already in the account,
safe account,
in a safe account for both of us.
Right.
You see now, when we create the company, the next thing is to open a bank account.
Right.
And that bank account, let's deposit the money as the land process takes through, because don't forget also, land cannot just be transferred with it.
Like overnight.
Yeah, so that is the best practice I would advise our viewers to go on with, because at the end of the day, with how people are dealing with people when it comes to land, nowadays there is the deficiency of trust.
Right.
And you might be knowing me, but maybe you don't trust me, you don't think that I will continue with the project. So it's prudent to have that money in the company's account. Yeah, and don't forget, people usually say that I have contributed money. What are you bringing to the table? Your land is your capital.
Exactly.
That is, the value of your land is your capital.
And maybe Wakili, can you, sorry for cutting short, but can you make us understand, at the point of signing the agreement, do our values, maybe in 20 seconds, do our value matter? My land is worth 2 million, the project you are putting on is worth 20 million. Do that apply?
That does not apply, but it might apply when you are agreeing on what we call profit share.
All right.
You have contributed 2 million, I have contributed 20 million. You see,
so the profit share.
Yeah, the profit share.
Okay.
But you have to agree with it. It's not that because I've contributed 20 million now, I will tell you I will give you a 2 million. And
take you out of the picture.
Take you out of the picture.
Right.
If you wanted to do that, kindly let me buy your land.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Why today I want to speak less and listen more is because this is an educative, it's a very informative segment where you must understand the basics of this thing so-called the joint venture. And as Wakili says, there are so much involved. And what comes or rather what concerns me more is when you get it right, and of course the other party also gets it right, you will not mess the whole joint venture process. And Wakili will be here after this short break just to make sure the viewers who I believe they have pen and papers or they are recording will just not miss any point. Because after the break we shall be talking about the benefits, of course, and most of the legal aspects of this, and most of the questions that you have when it comes to this process. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Did you know you can live in your home in Juja Farm and work in Nairobi CBD? Or are you in the diaspora and looking for a suitable place to build your home? Leeds Property Solutions is making this a reality. With a cash prize of 580,000, own a plot at Leeds Gardens or pay a deposit of 200,000 Kenyan shillings and the balance in 4 months. These plots have ready individual title deeds and only 15 minutes from Thika Superhighway along the newly tarmacked Juja Farm Road. For site visit our office in Ruiru Town or call us on 0792 161 099 or visit our website www.leedsproperty.co.ke. Leeds Property Solutions, your investment pointer. You are watching TV47. Disability is not only limited to physical disorder but also mental issue. From depression,
I was under depression for like 2 years.
Bipolar
disorder is a mood disorder.
And even suicidal thoughts.
When I was just about to hang myself, a certain voice just talked to me, and I believe that was God. I tried suicide more than 6 times.
Beyond the Limit has gone beyond its limit to find answers so as to help everyone go through life with ease. Join Mudhoni Maina every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Starting this September at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, The Realtor brings it all to perspective. We identify a property, discuss and demonstrate the journey towards ownership.
Professionals who have integrity, and from their catalog you can easily read that these are professionals who are able to deliver.
Everywhere you go, you have to up your games, you have to go with the trends.
Not forgetting the margins as well as the risks that come along.
The runaway prices of the land. We are saying that it's something that we can never go without mentioning. Any developer will not go without mentioning the price of land.
Don't miss out. Do you want the latest news on farming? We've got the WikiLeaks for you. Get it? No? Well, okay. Every week, we give you insights on different farms from crop farming to animal keeping.
They're very hardy insects, yeah? The larvae is a very hardy insect.
We look forward to having an optimum production in maybe about 5 years. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we plant every week and we harvest every week.
Join Violet Njoki every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as we skooma the wiki.
It's not all the time you have to read your farm. Sometimes it's of benefit.
Starting this September at 8:30 p.m.
Hi and welcome to The Grind. My name is Violet Njoki.
We continue to provide the platform.
County government and the Ministry of Lands. So immediately now after that is done, I get all approvals from the relevant ministries and from the relevant authorities. The next step is to develop now, commence the project.
Right.
Now everything is done, we have agreed on everything. Now let's start building now.
Now, and we can all agree that up to now the project is running. And remember, we are taking Wakili as one party and myself as another party. We are coming to real projections, all real issues, whereby we need to understand who can be Wakili and who can be myself, right? Yes. And now, you know what? We are on our last procedure, last process, last step in our process, right? And this is now whereby the project is almost now, let's say it's completed. And the mall we are building is complete, the apartments we are building are complete, and here comes now where you want to take us.
Now,
right.
after the process, after commencement, then the project must come to a completion.
Sure.
And now when the process comes into a completion,
sure.
then now the next step is for us now to go back to our agreement. Where are we going back to our agreement?
Right.
Everyone had a responsibility. Everyone was to share profits, and also was to share losses if there are any. Let's say, for example, now after I am done with development and now my mall is ready.
Right.
There is what we agreed on there, on the agreement.
Right.
Maybe I'm supposed to give you like 5 stalls. If it's an apartment, I'm supposed to transfer 5 apartments or floors to you. So that is what happens.
Okay.
So after every party has fulfilled its obligation under the agreement, right. That is the joint venture agreement, then after that now the agreement, because each party has done what it's supposed to do, then now it must, the joint venture special purpose vehicle now can be dissolved. If it's a company, there is a procedure of dissolving a company. Okay. If it's a limited liability partnership, there is a process of dissolving it. You stay with the apartments I've given you. Right. If you decide to live in all 5 of them,
you live. If you want to lease, you lease.
If you want to lease, yeah. So at the end of the day,
right.
I will have my apartments. Okay. You will have your apartments. Wow. Yeah.
And now this is a place where we are sharing the profit. You remember from step 1 we drafted, no, step 2?
It's step
3. Step 3, we drafted an agreement that outlined every responsibility, all the sharing that may come, or rather have to come, because it have to, yes. That will come. We have defined them, and we have defined them according to the agreement, what has brought us together. And at this very particular point, we are done with the project, and now Wakili, someone will ask, hatutawahi achana.
Kuachana mtaachana. Reason, the project is done.
Right.
You have your apartments, I have mine. That is your property. When you go to apartments, there is a way of registering apartments in someone's name. Those ones are yours. Okay. So you can manage them as you wish.
As mine and yours as yours. Yeah. And of course, if you're talking about apartments or such kind of buildings, we have the Section of Property Act that provides you an independent title deed. Hata kama ni from the fourth floor upwards, you have your title deed there. Now, Wakili, I don't know whether you can confirm this or it's a hearsay. That's why you're here. Is it true that we can have such a process and partnership in this joint venture, and at the end of the day, we agree on a number of years that you should benefit from this project?
You know, at the end of the day, parties are bound by the terms of their contract.
Right.
If let's say I came there and sold you that idea that I will do it 20 years, and then I regain my money, get interest, and then I'm out, I go to another project. Sure. If you agree, well and good. If you don't, parties have to be bound by the terms of the agreement. Right. But personally, I would advise a client, or if I was advising you as a landowner, it's prudent, just take it when the project starts.
Okay.
Yeah, because don't forget also, within that 20 years, the government, there is a show we talked about compulsory acquisition of land. The government may decide to acquire that property after those 20 years. What will you have benefited from?
Right.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, confirm once again this. Do banks or financial institutions build or rather get to joint venture with individuals?
Yeah. A bank might decide that your land is prime, and they say that let me come and help you develop, and you will, maybe now we will be sharing profits. Right. That might be different with what banks do. I give you a loan. I tell you I will be taking this amount of money until your loan is paid in full. And then thereafter, then you can continue with to rent the apartment as yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I've used the bank or the financial institution example based on the many questions that we've been receiving. Is it possible, or which banks are these, which financial institutions are these? And if there's such such an avenue, then these viewers can directly contact, the banks and the financial institutions and come to that one. But I would also love you to tell us, paint us a picture of the possible and the most common partners when it comes to joint venture. Who against who?
On your first question, I will not purport to be holding a brief for any bank here. Yeah. And I think it's up to a person to go to their financial institution and request them if they can do that.
All right.
On to your second question, who may decide to be, what parties may be involved? Right. A company might own land. Another company might have the money. Right. Company to company.
Okay.
Secondly, you might own land. I have the money. Individual to individual.
Like we started the example.
Like we started the example.
Right.
You might have the land, right? I have a company that I registered as a director. Okay. But in this instance, it's a company. Don't forget, under the law, me and my company are two distinct people. So a company and you. Right. So it fully depends on what parties are involved and who do you trust more. Right. You might find that people trust more a company to a company. Right. People trust more a company to an individual. And there are some people who may decide, let me risk with this individual to individual. Maybe I will
an individual to a company, I've gotten an idea. Like now, personally, I have a piece of land. I'll approach TV47, the Cape Media to come and build a theater there. Yes. So we can come, that one is possible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you are an individual and I'm an individual, it is still working. Yeah. It can also work from... those are two. The third one?
So it is company to company, individual to individual, individual to company. Yeah.
All right.
On the company side, I have to clarify one thing. The company, even if the company is coming to develop in real estate, the company must go back to its objectives when it was being formed. And one of the things it must maybe have said, will involve ourselves in real estate. Failure to which it will be acting ultra-vires against its objective.
Ultra-vires. Don't call it virus. Ultra-vires.
And that is that is why most companies nowadays you don't have an
just
objective.
Do anything.
Anything.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, when it comes to we've talked about how workable this procedure is. Sorry. How workable this procedure is and this process is, and indeed you have proved through all the steps that you have, it is possible. Someone there would fear, or rather would hear of joint venture and run away because of the many challenges that face the whole process. Paint us the most risk steps for one to take.
The most challenging thing that a person can go through when you're doing a joint venture is for you to have a partner that you can't trust. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it all boils down to the relationship between the parties. So if the partner you have is not a trustworthy person, if he's slick, for lack of a better word, then it means then this project might not move on. You might, if you're not keen enough, because some landowners are not, might not know how to read. Some. So, I might promise you that I'm going to change this company to, this land to, I'm going to register it under the company. But at the end of the day, register it under my own.
Right.
And that is, I will take your land. You see now, the main challenge in joint ventures is the issue of trust with partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe in 20 seconds, do the law protect people who get into it without knowing or ignorantly?
We say in law, ignorance of the law is no defense. And don't forget, as I also said in one of the shows, the only contract that in Kenya you are required to have in writing is any contract that touches on the transfer of land or any transaction in land. That is very clear under Section 3 of the law of the contracts law in Kenya. So that is the only agreement, and that is the agreement that is going to protect you. And that is why I keep insisting, hire the services of an advocate to help you through the process.
again the legal brains come to play, and you have always insisted, not because you want Wakili to have work or to have jobs to contract him, but rather would love you to be safe in all your engagements. And up to that point, I believe that you have a clear picture of what entails joint venture, whether a company, whether an individual or company to company, however the picture may look like, you have better understanding. If you have any concern, any question, please don't hesitate. Post it on our social media handle, that is the Realtor TV47 Facebook page, and we shall direct it to Wakili. He will respond it accordingly. And up to this point, I want to edit here, Bwana Wakili. Thank you so much for coming, and time will never be enough.
Yes, very true.
At this particular time, we want to have this show, but before that, I've been your host, Robert Dongo. But in the meantime, let's have the property of the week.
Are you looking for a one-bedroomed along Thika Road? Look no further than High Tower Apartments, situated in Kihunguro near